You are against the corporatization of education.
That is the reason I told you.
Is it purely because you felt that it was to be done that way?
They are meant for dropouts.
You are against using teachers as sales agent.
That is the biggest damage for the society.
I mean, do you think any chief minister these days does this kind of stuff?
There is a limitation.
So you decide to do all these things.
You can do that to the millions of people.
Something to do with education for children.
Fascinated right from the beginning, education.
1982, you started Vignan tutorials.
More than 70% of the students use it to get failure.
Due to non-serious attitude.
That is the very reason I started this concept.
Why did you start a residential system of education?
Corporate is something well planned. They have no vision except getting some money. When a teacher is not respected in the society is gone.
Welcome to Conversations on HYBIZTV. Education, they say, is a business, but for many, it is not a business. It's a passion. More importantly, for people who believe in education, it's a mission. And I have one such gentleman with me today, a veteran with over 4 decades of experience in the educational field. Dr. Lavu Rathaiah, founder, chairman, and possibly everything of the Vignan Group. Let me start by asking him the first question. Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.
Sir, your basic background, I know you come from a middle class agricultural family, but can you just elaborate on the early days? Where were you born? Where did you grow up? What was your schooling like? Your siblings, your parents, everything?
Yeah. So I was born not in a middle class, lower middle class.
Okay.
We have 3 brothers, and my mother and father are illiterate. We have only 7 acres, a very dry land, no water.
Okay.
So that was the situation. So we are 3 brothers. I am the eldest, and the next one is also a technical man who has studied in IIT Kharagpur, and third one is also a postgraduate from Andhra University, MSc Physics. So my schooling was only in my native place, that is Padanandipadu, and it was in Telugu medium only. So then I shifted to Guntur JKC College, studied PUC and BSc. Those days it is not intermediate, it is PUC and BSc. And then post-graduation I have done it in BR College, Agra. And then B.Ed and M.Ed I have done it in AL College, Guntur. And I have completed my PhD program from Usman University under the guidance of Malla Reddy, former Vice Chancellor of Usman University. This was my academic background, and also
so you decided to do all these things. Some people actually stop at post-graduation level, then do something and then start doing a PhD. But your PhD, I believe, was in the field of something to do with education for children.
Yes.
And can you just elaborate on that, sir?
Yeah, I have done, in the PhD education, especially the child psychology and evaluation process and all these things. So because I am fascinated right from the beginning, education. I have 3 lovers. I mean, I am very much interested in journalism.
Oh.
Yes, that's the reason I have done a diploma in journalism from Bharati Vidya Bhavan also.
Okay.
Yes, as intern I have worked in Indian Express those days as a sub-editor kind of thing. And then the other lover is the politics also.
Yes, Bapatla.
Yes. So politics also, because I believe that, okay, as an individual, as an institution, we can reach to certain level. There is a limitation. But in politics, if you are a good fellow with good concepts and good ideas, you can do that to the millions of people. And the benefits can be reached to the millions of people, like N.T. Ramarao with 2 rupees kg rice, and Rashekar Reddy with Arogyasri. Especially in education, he has introduced reimbursement for engineering. So higher education is accessible to the lowest man of the society.
What is the third one, sir? And what is the third love?
Third love is education.
So when you started your basic education, I mean, you saw a lot of students, maybe your own colleagues, your own
Yeah,
friends
yes.
dropping out due to non-serious attitude in the
It's
college.
not,
Maybe the schools
it,
were not providing that kind of education.
no,
Maybe the
no.
college.
It is not non-serious attitude. It is only the, I mean, they're not adjusting to the environment.
Okay.
Means, so those days, but that is the very reason I started this concept of residential system for the first time in Andhra Pradesh, both combined. And yeah, the reason was many students from schools who got first place in schools, first and second, and those who were very bright students from rural area, they used to come to the towns for PUC and
Okay.
graduation. And when that is the teenage, very, very complex age.
Correct, sir.
So when they come to the town, they are habituated to the movies and going around this, and I mean, very brilliant students. So they're not emotionally adjusted, not supported psychologically, how to go about, what is the roadmap for them, and all that. Because of that, more than 70% of the students used to get failure.
Okay.
Only the result was 30 to between 30 and 40% those days. These brilliant students, I mean, used to get see a great failure. That is the reason why can't we pull up these students and in the form of a Russian system, why can't we give them some guidance and some emotional support and psychological support so that they will be better. So yeah, initially there were many doubts because I started the college away from the town. It is 15 kilometers away from Guntur, very remote place. In a way, though it's 15 kilometers, a bit remote place. Many doubts were there those days. So that is number one. Distance is the number one. I had to fight against Hindu college, AC college, which were established by the time 60, 70 years back. Very big colleges, very renowned colleges. That is number one constraint. Distance is one constraint. The second constraint is about the fee. So they used to give the education for 150 rupees or 200 rupees. And for me, including the food and all that,
Yes.
they have to pay 3,000 rupees. 3,000 rupees was a big amount those days.
Correct.
Now it is equal to 3 lakhs kind of thing.
Correct, sir.
So that is the second constraint. And third constraint was, where do I get the faculty?
Okay.
And fact, even if I get the faculty, I cannot get better faculty than the established college like AC college or Hindu college. These are the constraints. So these are the doubts raised by many people, many educationists also, because they didn't understand what is it. Then I told everybody, no, this would be successful. Yes, the students have the great capacity within. So if we, I mean, encourage them, if we mold them, if we direct them, they will perform. So those days, I thought that the result was around 40. I thought it may be improved to 50, 55, and then it would be successful. But fortunately, in the first batch itself, the result was more than 90%.
Wow.
So then people of both the states, now two states, of course, entire Andhra Pradesh acknowledge that this is the system we wanted.
1982, you started Vignan tutorials. Not
1982, it is 79.
79. So, okay, I stand corrected. So, but what was the need for tutorial? Is it because the students never used to, or rather were not having a facility to get acquainted with the subjects at home, or is it something that you wanted to provide?
No. Mainly, I started for the coaching for engineering and medical. This thing. Those days, these professional courses, number of seats are very low.
Correct, sir.
And for medicine, it is less than 900 seats for the entire state. And for engineering also, it is only 4,000 only. So those days, it was very difficult to get into these professional courses. So we started the coaching center for these people, and previously before my this thing, there was another man called Dhan. So Ravi Tutorials was there. He established Guntur as the center for the coaching and all that. And I have taken the lead and made it very successful.
In fact, after that, you started your regular colleges. In fact, I was told somewhere that even the tuition, that coaching which you used to give, you used to rent some premises, you used to take colleges in the evenings, and then, used to kind of set up the facility. A lot of your students, of course, got into professional courses.
Right.
But where did this dream of starting a school and then, of course, a college and now a university come about?
No, I used to believe one thing. Those days, tutorials means in Guntur or Hyderabad, any place, tutorials means they are meant for dropouts.
Okay.
So those who has failed in the regular school used to come there and get some
Additional coaching.
additional this thing and get passed. I believe those days, I thought of it, yes. See, these are the dropouts, their potential is limited. So even if you make them pass, they'll stop their education somewhere in the next course. They'll fail.
That's true.
Yeah, but that is not the process to do something for education. We have to groom the children right from the beginning in the better form, and so that they should be successful in their entire career, in their entire life. So we have to do everything with the average and above average and brilliant students. Then only it is good for the society. They are the asset for the society. This was my thought process. It's not getting some money out of this tutorials or coaching. We have to do something good, for the society, preparing the good students and brilliant students, encouraging the brilliance, all these things was my thought process. So my competitors or didn't understand why I started in the regular stream and all that, but I know I have a clear idea what to do.
In fact, I remember I interviewed you almost 30 years ago when I was with the Times of India in your, I think, Nizampet campus or somewhere in that area, long back, maybe 20 years ago. My question that time and even now was, one of the questions is, why did you start a residential system of education? Was there a reason why you decided that it is not just day scholars, but a residential system would be good for students? What is the reason behind
that? That is the reason I told you, yes. People used to come from villages. They have a lot of brilliance, lot of potential. But only thing is, in the day scholar system, we have to depend upon the parent or parents, time and all these things. And those who are from the rural area, first generation students, that is the underlying thing. First generation in the family, they are the first people to get education. That kind of people, they require a lot of emotional support, lot of cycle. When they fall, we have to give the hand holding for them. Yes. When they do well, they have to encourage them to run faster. This is the kind of approach, not the knowledge alone. This kind of approach is required, and decision system is only suitable. We have to monitor them, mentor them for 24 hours, not 6 hours, 7 hours like a day scholar, this thing. That's what is it, other 12 hours or 14 hours doing?
That's true.
No direction, no
support at
no
home.
planning from the parent side. And school also never plans. They just teach something and leave them. But in the 24-hour monitoring system, we have some good planning, a kind of encouragement, a kind of support at every moment. Not only in education, even for health also, I consider it is very important. So, from the last 45 years, no comments on our food. Absolutely. That is the main concern. Health also is very important. I believe that they should be healthy to have good education.
I had food in your college, I think school. Tenali, I think I came and had food when I was working with Times of India those days.
Yes.
So one of the things you did was, good things you did was, you set up colleges away from the city. You spoke about it. Mainly non-polluting atmosphere. lot of playgrounds, a lot of what do you call peace and quietness there. Now, this question about you setting up in such a distance of a place, what is the reason behind doing it? Is it purely because you felt that it was to be done that way?
No, yeah, see, environment is the most important thing for the performing anything. Environment is the most
Correct, sir.
important thing, because we talk all nonsense on the road, but
True.
we don't talk the same thing in the temple.
Correct,
The
sir.
man is same, but
Same.
the change is the environment.
Correct. When he comes into a temple, it's a different thing.
Yeah, different.
He's a changed person.
You're a different man. So that is how the institutions also should be established in a serene environment with all the nature connected, and with free air, fresh air, and also in a it should be in such a way that the environment itself should motivate that I have to do well,
True.
I have to study well, I have to perform well. This is the kind of approach and belief I made it all the institutions away from the city. One other thing is, I always tell the people, it is not something establishing in the city. We have to establish the city on our own.
That's true. In fact, you're not changed one bit since I last spoke to you. Maybe as I said,
because for Hyderabad people, our Nizampet is the biggest example. There was nothing when I constructed.
Yes, sir.
Now it is the city.
Within the city now.
Yeah.
That happened Guntur also, I think, same thing.
Guntur also similar thing.
Now, in one of your things where you did mention that you are against the corporatization of education.
Right.
I mean, people talk about you as somebody who's different from the...
Yes.
I don't want to take the names of your competitors, but it is very obvious whom I'm speaking about. A lot of pressure on children, morning till evening, they are only education, study, and there's a lot of pressure. There are some cases of suicides. All these things happen. Children, maybe even that not interested in engineering or medicine, are also forced by their parents to go for such training. But you definitely, in many places during your interviews with many other channels, you mentioned that you are against using teachers as sales agent and all this kind of stuff. Can you just elaborate on that, sir?
Yeah, I am against for all these bad practices. Right from the admission, the way they do things and the way they announce the results and all that. So initially, the first thing is, so people, they call it corporate. It is not corporate. Corporate means it's a different thing, a very good term, but it turns to be a bad term as far as education is concerned. Corporate is something well planned.
Correct.
With a vision. True. That is the corporate. They have no vision except getting some money or getting some money.
And full page ads.
That is not, we can't call it corporate. Okay, that's something different. Yes. But right from the admissions people use it to, involve the teachers to make admissions. Even now the practice is going on. In a school, that if the teacher won't get the required number of admissions, no place for the teacher. It is out.
Very sad.
That started from the intermediate education and all that. It is a very bad thing, not only for the business sake, for the, as a value system also, it is very bad.
Correct.
Teacher is the highest man in the society, like right from the Chanakya. He is the man who establishes, who changes the everything, who establishes the rules of the society. So, and that he is respected highly. See, in the olden days, not olden days, 30, 40 years back also, in the village, teacher is everything.
Correct, sir.
He is the teacher, he is the doctor, he is the advisor, he is everything.
Motivator,
everything. But that teacher is reduced to a broker, an agent, going around the houses and begging the children. That creates a lot of damage to the society. When a teacher is not respected in the society is gone.
Correct, sir. That's true. After the
when he is reduced to a beggar, or an agent, or a man who makes some admissions, he is not no more a teacher, no respect for him.
That's true.
So a student comes to the same school and see the same teacher who bargains something for the admission. So he doesn't have respect in his arts of
Correct.
arts.
That's true.
That is the biggest damage for the society. I am totally against of that.
Like teachers are almost like parents because
Like
they are
more
like
than that.
God actually.
Yeah, more than that. Yes, they give parents gives the birth, but the teachers gives the life.
Correct. Sir. That's true. That is true.
That's what I believe.
In
So
fact,
they should enjoy the utmost respect. Utmost respect. So that is the reason when I was asked to comment on NEP also, National Education
Education policy
Policy
2020.
recently 2020. That is the same thing I commented. This entire policy, the teacher was not given a big role and big mention of it. Teacher what is the respect for the teacher? It is not the salary alone. What is the respect the teacher is getting in the society?
That's true.
In some countries, if the teacher goes to the airport, the counter fellow should rise up and give the boarding pass.
That's true. Must be the ex-student or
That
something
is the
like
protocol any teacher, professor maintains. That is the kind of respect.
I think that is still there, sir, in state. I come from Kerala.
Yeah.
That respect is still there in Kerala. Even my in-laws and all, both are teachers. When they're speaking, when somebody comes and addresses, they go to a bank or they go to a post office or they go to some place, suddenly one ex-student will appear and he'll say, teacher, please come sit, and all that kind of respect. But I think one of the points which you made, sir, also is very disturbing is the education choice for poor children. Rich kids have money, they can go, they can take training, they can do all that. But what about children, who are coming from, as you said, first generation, who don't really have the money? You are a big supporter of the fees reimbursement scheme of Rajshekar Reddy also. But you feel at the same time that government colleges also need to be...
For that, the solution is not in the private institutions. The solution is with the government.
Correct.
The government has to train the teachers and make the environment better and make it accountable for the teachers and the headmasters and all that. That kind of experiment is already done at the Delhi public schools.
Okay.
It was a great success.
Correct.
Because of that, and also the primary health centers only, the app government won the elections. Two things, education and health. Two things, the very simple thing.
Correct.
But then,
Most important.
So the government has to take it very seriously. They are investing lot of money on education. Governments are investing money, but that investment has no monitoring system.
Correct.
No accountability. Definitely, compared to all the private schools, these things, government is investing more money.
Correct.
But it has no accountability, no monitoring system. See, why there are so many IAS officers, so many people are there. But why can't they allot one IAS officer exclusively for education to monitor the
quality?
Exclusively for the quality of education.
Correct, sir.
So that is the only solution for the poor people.
Yeah.
This is one way, but higher education, so anyway, reimbursement is there, and also bankers are also very much ready to support the
loans and all that.
Education. No issues are there with bankers. They are very much ready to give the loans and all these things. This is the way.
But you were in fact, big admirer of Rajshekar Reddy and of course N.T. Ramarao. Both of whom you were politically very close. Yeah. I did read about it. Both are different. Rajshekar Reddy is a different kind of person, a different political party. Ramarao ji was a different kind of person. Can you just talk about relationship with these two stalwarts?
Yeah, N.T. Ramarao, I was very close to him and used to visit him every week, once in every week, and he considers me and he gives a lot of respect and love for me. Not respect, I am an younger to him. It is a lot, he used to share a lot of love for me. It is to the extent in 2000, I mean, in 94 elections, he has entrusted the whole job of selecting the people
Candidates.
and all that to me. Rajshekar Reddy also good to me. And,
Correct, sir. One thing about Rajshekar Reddy you constantly kept mentioning in very interviews was the fact that the fees reimbursement scheme, he even used to call you and check
Yes.
with you about how effective it is.
Yes, yes.
I mean, do you think any chief minister these days does this kind of stuff?
I don't think no. Because those days, what has happened, it was the first scheme, perhaps in these parts of, I mean, in the southern India or North India also, first scheme to reimburse the fees. So the officers confused him. Sir, these people are not doing well. This is going waste. And so we have to
Stop it.
stop it or reduce it or something like that. So then I think he got the doubt and he called me at midnight, 11 o'clock something. What is your opinion of this? So then I told him very clearly. So any government scheme, if it is successful to the extent of 70%, it is a success. So definitely lower class people, poor people are accessible to higher education because of that scheme. I totally support this scheme. It's a good scheme.
I think between these two people, between these two legends, you got caught in the Bapatla political battle.
Yeah.
When you are offered the Bapatla Lok Sabha seat, you almost took it. But then, what happened?
So, actually, when Rajshekar Reddy offered the Bapatla seat from Congress, I was very much ready and all that. But because of the pressure from my because I was very close to N.T. Ramarao. That is also there. And naturally, I belong to this Telugu Desam party. I was very important fellow for at least, if not for the party, to the N.T. Ramarao. When you are so close to N.T. Ramarao, how can you shift yourselves to the Congress party? These were the questions raised by my close people, and I forcefully stopped from contesting that. So then I told Rajshekar Reddy, this is my helplessness. So then Purantheswari was selected.
I did read about that in Raghupati
Venkateshwara.
He mentioned in his book about this particular incident.
Yes, yes.
So one of the things as we come to the close of the conversation is about schools. I mean, going back to the schools, I'm not talking colleges. Today's children are taught rote learning method. That is by heart, go write the exam. Either it is engineering or medicine. Social sciences, pure sciences, arts are not getting the prominence which it should. What is your opinion? I mean, we need students who are creatively brilliant, who are good designers, one who can fly planes, one who can drive trains. People like what we are totally, I mean, at least in Andhra, the Telugu speaking states, Andhra and Telangana especially, the parents, I call it, they couldn't be an engineer, so they want the kids to be engineer. They couldn't be a doctor, the unrealized dreams, I call it. So they want to be, but whether the kid is interested or not is something you would have seen in your school also. I'm not talking college, because by the time they come to the college, they're more or less made up their mind. In the school, what is Vignan encouraging children to go beyond just these two streams of education?
Yeah, in the school we are away from the rote learning method. We are to make or start their thinking process right in the beginning, in the school stage itself. We are encouraging them to go to the other fields also. I myself encourage even go to the cinema field also.
Correct.
There are 3-4 directors are there, successful directors are there who are
your product.
Yes, the product. And also we also encourage the social sciences. It is very much required for the future. And we make them very free, not unlike many other schools in a restricted kind of fear, a kind of limited tunnel-like kind of thinking.
Atmosphere.
I really believe Educationist philosophy.
Correct.
Really believe Educationist philosophy. His philosophy, the essence of him, let the child grow in his own way.
Sure.
Like a tree. Some tree grows tall, some tree grows wide, some tree grows green, some tree grows yellow. So this is the way the people, the individuals also should grow. This is what I believe strongly. So I encourage the similar kind of thing. So basically, it is not the education alone. It is the marks alone. It is the value system that should be incorporated. Ethics and value system should be incorporated in the formative period. That is the main, of course, today and yesterday papers were there. Big people are suffering, very successful people are suffering from their own family members, from their own sons.
Correct. What is the point in making money?
Making money. So the problem is not with the children, it is with the teachers and parents. They are never taught the values, never taught about mention about the ethics. So they grow like that.
Taking bribe is something very normal for them, some people. As we close the conversation, 45 years ago, when you began Vignan tutorials, did you ever imagine that you would be presiding over a huge empire like this, educational empire, I'm saying, including a university, including colleges, including schools, numerous of them? And looking back, if given a choice, would you have done something differently? Or if when you walk away from the sunset, into the sunset, how would you like to be remembered?
No, yeah, but I never thought I grow this big, but I always think in a bigger way.
That's a good thing.
That is it. So that is the reason people always say this Ms. Rathaiah has earned lots of this thing. Huge properties are there, huge, lands are there, something like that. I never thought it is like a real estate or a business or something like that. Only thing is, the school should have a big environment, a big thing to play, to get education, or to conduct other activities, something like that. That is the only process I thought of it. Sankalpam. Your intention should be good, and so everything would be good. Your intention, so I never thought I can make it a real estate and make it into the flats and sell it. So yes, anywhere I go and I used to purchase 10, 20 acres of land for a school, for a college, kind of thing. So I used to dream big, but I never thought I established a university and an ultimate terminal, this thing. University is the terminal thing for education. Sir. So university and cater to the needs from kindergarten to PhD kind of thing. I never thought of it very particularly, but I used to think in a big way. Only thing is, people, anybody running the colleges, schools are going to establish. Only thing we should not work for money. So money is very essential. Definitely money is very essential. We have to work for the development of the students, development contribution to the society. Then money will automatically come to us. Yeah, that is the way that if we work only for money, how much money we'll get from this project and all that, we are lost. We have to always focus on the development of the student, contribution to the society and all these things. As I said, why people are choosing only engineering, medicine, these parts of the... One factor is employability. See, many are from middle class, lower middle class. For the whole family, they settle well only when the boy is employed, when he becomes the earning member. So that is the reason that most of them are choosing the professional courses like engineering, medicine, and architecture, and all these things. So that is the bottom line. Any institution, if you work for the students, work for the development of the society, contributing something, your part, your small part for the development of the society, that's fine. My satisfaction is, especially in the university, of course it is there in other parts also, 65% of them are from the rural areas. Okay. Out of them, 40%, 35 to 40% of them are first generation educators. I am making them settle in the life. The whole families, I always tell them, so we have 20,000 students. Don't see 20,000 students as such. We are dealing with 20,000 families. If we are not doing well, if we are not giving right education, we are not giving right skills, that family will suffer. Not only the student, the whole family will suffer. This is how I repeatedly tell my people. So remember that it is not the number of students, so it is the number of families. That is how I make.
While you addressed your faculty and your principal and your teachers, what is the message that you want to give to the students and their parents when they look at education, when they look at the next generation, to teach the next generation where to go and learn?
Yeah.
What is the kind of bullet points you want to give them and say, these are the things you should follow?
For the parents, yes, they have to consider they have to see not the progress card.
That's true, sir.
So how much percentage they are getting, what is the position in the class, this is not the ultimate thing. They have to see the growth of the real, all-round growth of the child. Whether he is emotionally good, talking to the others, very decent way or not, respecting the parents, and maintaining some value system or not. That is how, especially in the formative period, we have to give it to the children more than education. That is the first thing. And the second thing is, you should not see a child as a commercial element, and we are investing some money to get back something. You have to see a child as a human being with all emotions, with all likes and dislikes. We have to always connect to the child continuously, handhold him till they do on their own. That is the major thing. People always look at the marks and grade them. So, when I see whether what the parent has to see, whether he is a merit or not merit, but I always advise them to see whether he is doing good or bad.
Wonderful, sir.
Is a good man or bad man. Also, that is how people the parents should see them. And always better to encourage the students are there, children are there to make mistakes.
Correct, that's true.
We are there as teachers or parents to correct them, not to punish them, not to create fear, not to create...
That's an excellent...
In the fear, they can't grow.
That's an excellent...
So people always misunderstand in the schools and at home, the discipline is creating a fear. Discipline is not creating a fear. It is not policy. Discipline is not policy. Discipline is creating a respect with responsibility.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes, that is the way we have to groom the children. I always advise and request all the managements of the schools or colleges, it is better to follow the very philosophy of Ratan Tata, because he has recently passed away. With all ethics, they never bribe anybody.
That's true.
With all ethics, with social concern, with social responsibility, because all their profits, about 60% is spent back to the society. They give back something to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi, and Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and they themselves established Cancer Center. They themselves established Tata Institute of Social Sciences. They also have the education institutions, and they are going with all responsibility, being the corporate. That is the corporate.
That is the real.
Not that people always say. People always say corporate is that, maintaining the values and ethics and having the responsibility towards society, contributing them continuously and helping the poor.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that message of yours, is very, very important to both parents and children. And with 45 years of experience, Dr. Rathaiah has taken Vignan from just a kind of tuition center, if you can call it that way, to a place where education is given with a certain philosophy. Education in terms of pure ethics, education in terms of true value. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Dr. L. Rathaiah. And surely his baby has grown a long way. Vignan is now a truly world-class educational conglomerate. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind.